Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Habitual Line Crosser. Of course, Knox wants to say hi. Let's kill the music real quick. Come on, bud. You want to say hi? Want to say hi to everybody? Buffalo? You want to speak? Speak. Good boy. Okay. Love you, bud. All right, go on. Get out of here. All right, how's everybody doing? We got Nova's here, Wolfram's here, Chaperone, Doting Crown, Jackson, Justin Ward. Ed, I mean, there's a ton of y'all in here. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? Thank you for annihilating TikTok tankies on the regular. Thanks, man. Oh, there, and now he's blocking the camera. He just decided to put his big old fat face over there. Knox, do not grab one of my old uniforms and drag it out. No, I love you, but go. Go lay down. Go on. Go. Hey. Bed. Bed. Good boy. Yeah, that just because no, bed. All right. Doing great. Here for the live as long as I can while I work. Hey, I totally understand that. How long did you serve? I'm still in. 15 years strong right now. That's what I'm doing. No treat. We'll get to those. We'll get to the treats. Go and grab some steaks and use the F-14. Make enemy pilots cancer patient on War Thunder. You know, you're not wrong. That radar is fucking powerful, man. So what's going on, everybody? 5 to go, retirement. Let's. Well, I'm probably gonna walk away earlier than that. I know some people may find that like why not go to retirement? I'm tired. I'm beat up. So I'm gonna just bow out, and I'm gonna go on my merry way and do social media content creation full time. That's my goal. You guys may notice. Thank you, Raptor. Give the good boy a cookie. I will. I had a lot of complaints that the noise and the alert and the reading of the comment was just a little too distracting and kept on distracting me. So I got rid of that. I just got rid of that today, guys. It's been a week. So we'll give him a cookie. Here, we'll have Knox hop up again and get himself a cookie. Come on. No. Get it. There you go. Good boy. All right. All right, and we give one for Rain. She won't jump up. Brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Louisiana's my favorite character now. I don't want to know well. He said, you are his favorite person as well. It is so hard for me to get that. Moon's haunted. See the VA the minute you get out. Yes, I've already registered for the burn pit registry, and if you watch some of my older videos where I actually break down when I was in Afghanistan, I made a video called Afghan Cribs. And I literally point out our burn pit. So I have absolute proof. First time catching a stream. Love your stuff, man. Always cracks me up. Thank you so much, Omega. You need more buff? You need more buff. Well, he's a buff. He's one of the easiest characters that I have to do. And after that, it just kind of comes naturally. Thank you for the content. Thank you for staying alive. Bro, I've had early days every day this week, man. And last week. I've given 7 PT tests in the past, 2 weeks. Yeah, and we've done a couple of height and weights. I'm run ragged. I'm exhausted. I had to straight up tell my first sergeant. We had a meeting today, and I was like, I can't. I got nothing left. So I came home and I literally crashed out on the couch. Took some freaking meds, and I was like, I can't. I'm just done. I woke up feeling like death. Never been able to catch a stream in a while, but all I wanted to say was that someone born in Indiana, your India cover was awesome and on point, had me dying. Thank you so much, AK. I don't know why the alert isn't popping up. It should pop up just silently. I don't know what's going on there. Florida gets you canceled. Ah, there it is. Florida gets you canceled, Reaper. I will intercept. Do the kid voice. Would you intercept me? I'd intercept me. ACFT. So I work at an academy. So every time we have new students, they have to take an ACFT and a height and weight. So if we get a bunch of students at the same time, we only have enough for 5 lanes, so we can only do 25 at a time. So that's why we have to do one after the other, after the other, after the other. So we just had a lot of people. You're gonna miss the Burt. It's okay, Nova. It's just a lot of people were like, "Hey, it's really distracting," and I know you're trying to get information. So HBL, you are the truth. I am not, man. Do the Aussie voice. Man. Hang on, I gotta think about it. Sorry, that one doesn't come as easily. Good day. All right. So, what kind of things you want me to talk about? Talk about? No, a boot. Fuck, I fucked that one up. See, for some reason, my Canadian sometimes comes out Australian or Irish, and my Australian sometimes comes out Canadian. It's weird. Good day from Battleship, Missouri. The mighty Mo. Hell yeah, bro. I'm super jealous. Someday I'll get out there to see her. Have I seen the Tucker Putin interview? Yeah, I saw parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. Maybe. I might watch the whole thing. The real Vladimir Putin. Hi there, HLC. Love your work. Of course, the real Vladimir Putin would enjoy my work. So how's Texas right now? I don't know. I haven't. So I want to touch on what's going on in Texas, but I haven't really like figured out a way to deliver it that's more funny than like mean, and I don't want to be divisive. So as soon as I figure that out, absolutely. Voice actor in the making. We'll get there eventually. You're Toby Keith's cousin, man. I'm sorry for your loss, bro. A Canadian asking. Can you tell us a funny story about the dogs? Helps the mourning process. Which one? Talking about Hobs, the one we just lost? Hobbs. Oh, by the way, speaking of Hobbs, I do want to say thank you all for the one that I tagged on TikTok when that was, Hobbs's profile, the bloob on TikTok. A lot of people requested to view it. My wife had put it on private, and there was a lot of like positive comments about Hobbs, and we are very, very thankful for that. That is absolutely amazing. Hobbs. So right before he passed, he didn't really have use of his back legs very much, so we'd have to like hold him up while he was drinking water and eating and stuff like that. And I remember one day I was holding his butt and he was drinking water, and it's pretty common for Hobbs to fart. And so he let, I thought he let one rip, and I was like, "Ooh, man, that stinks." And then I looked down and there's a turd in my hand. So a little while before he passed away, dog shit right in my hand. You plan on streaming Lethal Company sometime? I'll be honest with you. I get very little time to play video games nowadays. So right now, all of my time, I am hopelessly addicted to Enshrouded. If you guys haven't played Enshrouded, it is 10 out of 10. Honestly, great game. There's so much to do. I've only explored a fraction of the map. It is literally the only survival game that I enjoy exploring more than I enjoy building. And I love building. I build some crazy shit, like on Ark and shit. I love it. But this game has completely changed the way I look at games like that. Pig King, if I at least hit the passing PT scores, would I fail at 5'7", 200 pounds? So here's the thing, right? When it comes to height and weight, what we do is we have our obviously tables, and I bust weight every single time. They expect me, I'm 6'2", 1.5, 1.75, anyways, and they expect me to be 205 pounds. Bro, that ain't happening. That's just not happening. So since I'm in excess of that, they do what's called the tape test. Now they have the one for men, which is neck and waist, but they're starting to switch over the single position tape test for men and women, which is just the tape of your waist. And then they do some math and they find out what your body fat percentage is in correlation with that. That's how we do it. Can we get an Oklahoma, Texas character? I do have Texas. I've done Texas before. Oklahoma I haven't done. I didn't feel the character. So I know you guys saw that last video and I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to go through with it. But I wasn't. Once I figure out Oklahoma, absolutely. Jose Ramirez, thank you so much for the donation. Hobbs was my fave, dude. Hobbs was the shit, man. I really liked Hobbs. Based off the interview yesterday, Vladimir may actually watch you. He's very knowledgeable about his history. Clearly, information is important to that man. I don't disagree with you, Stuart, but here's the thing you also have to understand. And I say this as an individual, not as a government entity or any kind of employee of the federal government. Vladimir Putin is, I would never say he's unintelligent. Would never say that. I would never say he's not a smart man. But he is also a very, very, how do I want to word it? I don't want to say vindictive because that's not really the right term. He's a different kind of dictator. Yes, I get it. He's a president, but he's a different kind of dictator. He controls the flow of information to make it seem like he is always right. So keep that in mind. Bear that in mind. Brandon in chat, Mrs. Linecrosser just said, Brandon, I'm so glad you're here. Brandon, hope you had a better week. Just curious, you opened that package yet? I absolutely did, Brandon, and I wanted to share all this with you guys. I got a couple of things from Brandon, and I think they're super cool. I picked them up earlier this week. I haven't hung them up yet. I literally just got the package open earlier today. So we got one right here with the F-22. I like this silhouette. I actually really, really like this one. I'm a big fan. And then this one, he went a little bit more traditional with HLC. And the bubble says, "Let me fucking eat." And of course, he's got logo and would you intercept me down here? And he's got the eyes and mouth on the F-22 silhouette right there. And I think that is super cool, man. I love these. I got to get them hung up. It's been a week, man. And then of course he inscribed some things on the back. And Brandon, I will tell you, I've gotten a lot of letters from people reaching out to me about my content and the way things are, and how much I've helped them. And that's the reason I do what I do. I really want to help people in those dark times. And I read your letter, man, and I gotta say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Like it's stuff like that keeps me going, man. Like Brandon, you are top tier, my dude. Hang on, oh, sorry. So it was somebody else. I thought it was Mrs. Linecrosser. Rob Castle! Oh man, it's Daddy Rob, everybody. Are you starting at 7 or 8 p.m.? Gonna entrap you again. Voice for the Hummer. I want it, I don't know how to get that character yet. Keep in mind, there's only so many voices I can do, but sometimes I have a voice and I just don't have a character for it, so I'm gradually building, because I want each character to be special in their own way. Like, that's what I want. I don't want to just be a bland...
Would you intercept me?
I guess I didn't take out that variation.
I'd intercept me.
Broly, thank you so much, and Rob, of course, thank you so much as well. I guess I didn't get rid of the noise for the $50 and up ones. Oh, that's on me. I deserve this.
Starting time 7 or 8 p.m.
It is 6 p.m. Central.
Trap you again.
That's what I normally start at. So I don't know. I really got to think on the Hummer. I mean, the Humvee is kind of a staple of the U.S. military, and I don't want it to be just a throwaway character. I want it to be something good, you know. Could a Growler defeat the Patriot? Honestly, Eric, there's a lot of circumstances that go into that, but I will tell you that a Growler has a better chance of defeating Patriot than anything that I know about. And there's some things that I don't know about. There are things that exist in this world that I have no clue about. But from what I know, I would say the Growler has the best possibility of destroying Patriot. Or at least jamming it enough that something else can destroy it. If we're going to get the draft in 2 decades... I'm going to lose my mind. I wouldn't really worry about the draft too much. Think about this. To have the draft, you got to have a staggering degradation. And
Would you intercept me?
There's Daddy Rob again.
Daddy Rob. Me.
Fun fact.
Hummer is Arnold.
Crowbars were invented. Crows just drank at home.
Rob, that's bad, man. Navis said, Hummer is Arnold. I want to, but if I ever have to use Austria, I was going to use Arnold because he's Austrian. So wow, that was a really weird noise. I almost did like a French. As much as I want to do him, I will not unless, of course. That's like a French. I got to work on my Arnold. That's bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Kevin the Hummer was funny. I did like that. That was a fun little skit to do.
Where's the buff? The buff is always around. That's one of the easiest voices for me to do. It comes very, very naturally.
So Kevin isn't it? No, I've realized that I've kind of blended a lot of characters together, so I want to make each of them a little more special. Because every time I make a character a little bit more special and have more of a personality, somebody identifies with that. So like the aircraft, a lot of airmen identify with those. The Navy boats, a lot of sailors identify with those. I've done a couple other things, and people who operate these systems really identify with that. And that's what I want to do, is I want to bring people together with my characters. A voice for an Iranian F-14. I can barely do the F-14. I did like a Tom Cruise F-14 one time, and it was Iranian. But I couldn't get the voice with because Tom Cruise isn't really a voice, it's more of a cadence, the way he speaks. You work on the Battleship Missouri tours on me? Bro, say less. Fuck, now I gotta get out to Hawaii. It's at Pearl Harbor Hickam, isn't it? The Mo, I know the Arizona's there. It's still there. I would really like to go see the Arizona Memorial before I die. There's a lot of places I want to see. Unfortunately, I will tell you, I'm a little disappointed. The way current events are, I'm kind of scared to go to certain places in Central America, South America. I know that there's a large portion of Asia I can never go to. The Middle East, I'm good. I've been enough places there. And I really wanted to see like the pyramids of Giza, but I am terrified of North Africa. So, and actually on that note, East and West Africa, maybe South eventually, but like on a resort. Why Huton says I missed their super chat? Hold on. Did I miss one? Heaven Lady. I don't want to miss super chats, man. I'm scrolling up.
Would you intercept me?
There's Daddy Rob again.
I'd intercept me.
I don't
Just
have one
watched
from you.
something on
Why
Tuesday
you hacked?
on NBC. US Air Force General outright said even with the new fighter coming in, the F-22 will not be retired. Your thoughts?
Oh, why you hating? There's the Hooked on Phonics come in. Hold on. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much. Onik Calcron? I think I said that right. And where's that Daddy Rob? Constant midlife crisis. We're also talking about retirement. Farm Shop Chronicles. For Austria, use funny mustache. Whoa, Brian. I don't know if I can use funny mustache man for Austria. Look, guys. I had a really, really good joke. I'm gonna keep working through this. I had a really, really good joke for that last Buff and me thing that we did for the long form, where like we were interviewing and I did like a little monologue at the beginning talking about different news stories. It was a fire joke. Honestly, probably one of the funniest I've ever made. But I tell you, us vets and civilians have two very, very different senses of humor. So I always kind of like walk the line on getting canceled, and that one, like, we don't make jokes about late 1930s, early 1940s Germany. We don't, it was a solid joke. Great joke. My wife was like, that will get you canceled. No. And I was like, that's fair. Just watched something Tuesday night. My thoughts? I mean, if the F-22 is incredibly expensive to operate, but it's really, really good at what it does. Like, the United States strike package is everything. You have to bear in mind that anytime we fight anybody or send any firepower anywhere, we strike package that shit. So everyone's like, oh, fucking Su-57 will beat an F-22. Cool, if you think that. But they're going to send 5 F-22s, 10 F-35s, a fucking Growler, and probably some F-16s because they're going to do a job. Like, they're not going there to just pick a fight, run patrols, do stuff like that. Like, they're a strike package. They have a specific purpose. So F-22 does really, really good air cover because most of the time they're covering assets, people don't even know they're there. So 35 is also really good at that. With the kill chain, kill network vulnerabilities with each component, the network vulnerabilities is why the F-22 does not network from my understanding. I don't know. I know the F-35 does a lot of networking, but that's also on my air missile defense side of the house. Like, going forward, everything will have to be IFCN compliant. IFCN stands for the Integrated Fire Control Network. And, oh yeah, I have to hear myself. Sorry, someone was asking about my headphones being all goofy. I have to hear myself when I do the voices, so I usually take one off if I'm going to do anyone's voices. I just forgot to put it back on. Plus, when I'm in the van in the ECS, like Engagement Control Station and Patriot, our earphones have one ear. So if I'm sitting on the left, which is where the TCA sits, which is what I used to do, I wear my earphone on the left and my right ear is open so I can hear the commo guy and my TCO, Tactical Control Officer. So I can hear them. And he wears his on the right and leaves his left ear open so he can hear us. Old habits die hard. So like me having my right ear open feels very comfortable and natural to me. Sorry about that. As for the F-22 not integrating, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a end-all be-all. It was we want to build it for one specific purpose, and that is just air spanking the living fuck out of anything that flies. I don't know if that intent was met, but I know the 35s do integrate with other systems for those reasons. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm getting through everything. The ATF voice was great. Will there be more of that? Was the ATF the one that I did with Smeagol? I can't remember. God, man, my voices really have taken over. Fuck. Kevin is the Hummer. He can't change it too late. Sorry. Who am I rooting for? In the Super Bowl? Nobody, honestly. I I'm not a sports guy. I've just never been a fan of sports, honestly. Haven Lady, if Venezuela's going to invade Guyana, Guyana should give that land that was once Jonestown, because that place is too cursed, just that. I'll be honest with you, Haven Lady, I'm not too well versed in what's going on between Venezuela and Guyana. Also, guys, I get it. We're Americans. We don't understand like geography very well. Totally get it. Guyana is in South America. Ghana is in Africa. Ghana, Africa, Guyana, South America. And the only reason I know that is because I worked in my last unit with two guys. One was from Ghana, the other one was from Guyana, and they made sure that I understood that one was in Africa, one was in South America. If you make it out to the battleship, ask for Scott. Bet. Absolutely, 100%. I have a brother named Scott. I will absolutely remember that. So, incoming Venezuelan Guyana voices. People are asking about that. I gotta look into it. F-35 uses MDL. Weapons, I'm not familiar with MDL. I know that they are IFCN compliant, which means they can see what my radar sees. I can see what their radar sees. And we did it. It's not fully functioning yet. But in 2019, I engaged 2 cruise missile surrogates, 2 MQM-178s, and they flew in. And as they were in flight, the guidance from them passed from me, the Patriot operator, to an F-35, and the F-35 did the job. Really good as an understatement for the F-22. Hummer voice. 3-pack a day smoke it. Just swallow your saliva for a few times, make it third. Throw it dry. Let me get a Newport. It's a strike package, not Blood Sport. Oh yes, absolutely. You mean Blood Sport? Yep. It's not a 1v1, man. We don't play that game. So the United States, doctrinally, we fight 3-1. That is our like what our mentality is. Like if you have 100 guys, we're sending 300. If you have 500, we're sending 1,500. We fight 3-1. However, in almost all of our training exercises, we are heavily outnumbered. We are heavily outgunned. They always know more than us. We die easier than them. Like everything is stacked against us. So that way, perfect example, Operation Anaconda. They sent in 1,000 Americans because they thought that the Taliban had about 200 strong in the Shaikat Valley. They got in there. Turns out the Taliban were 1,000 strong. Well, 1,000 plus. Our best estimates between 1,000 and 1,500. And they had like heavy artillery, mortars, all sorts of shit. So then the 10th Mountain was completely surrounded. And instead of doing what a lot of countries do, which would be like, all right, we need to break contact, lay down suppressive fire, get the fuck out of here. Americans were like, oh, this is a target-rich environment. We fought uphill before. Fuck it. Let's make this shit happen. And then the Air Force brought in so much ordnance, they literally changed the topography of the Shaikat Valley. And I'm not even like exaggerating. I'm like, no, there was mountains that were no longer mountains when the Air Force was done. 200 combat missions a day in the peak of Operation Anaconda, which was 10 days long. Or 14 days, technically, excuse me. Yeah. Old combo guy when I drove headphone on the left ear. He gets it. Good afternoon. ATF was the YF-22 and the F-23. You're a Swiftie, right? Swiftie, I'm not sure. Oh, Gollum. Yeah, or Smeagol. Incoming Venezuelan. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. For some reason, when I scroll down, I'll get like part of the way down, then it just drops to the bottom. So I have to scroll back up. There's kids outside screaming. Have I anything to do with CRAM systems used in Afghan? No, actually. LPWS, Land-Based Phalanx Weapon System, is more of a 14 Golf realm. I am a 14 Echo, which is Patriot Fire Control. Hold on. What? Mrs. Linecrosser, can you just hop into chat and like chew me out like a normal adult? Taylor Swift Swiftie. I am no, I'm not a Swiftie. Sorry, thanks, Mrs. Linecrosser. Old lady smoker from Brooklyn. I think the LPWS is a great system. So people say CRAM, and that's actually its job, but LPWS is actually what it's called. LPWS stands for Land-Based Phalanx Weapon System. The Navy, on the other hand, they call theirs CIWS, CWIS, which is Close-In Weapon System. Same thing. One's tan, one's gray, and pretty much the exact same fucking thing. But what I will say is, in the world of short-range artillery and rocket defense, it's very good. And honestly, very efficient. Because, yeah, it may blast out 3,000 rounds to drop a mortar, but those 3,000 rounds pale in comparison to some of the cost of, like, missiles and interceptors that we and other countries use. So, bang for the buck, I would say it's very, very good. How bad did it hurt to do the T90 scream? I mean, my throat was definitely sore afterwards. Absolutely. Overkill is underrated. Yes. You must always overkill. There is nothing.
You love the voice for the buff.
See, that one I can do actually with my headphones on without having to hear myself, because that one, like, the buff just comes so easily now. Someone's going to clip that. I'm going to get in trouble. Fuck. Anyways, 50 BMG. We need more 50 BMG. Mrs. HLC giving the business and not even chat. I'm telling you, she watches it and then she just like texts, do this, do the RAR. Like it's I call it co-whiz. So my local paper mill storage a few blocks from my apartment is currently on fire. It's been an exciting day. Damn. Why you hating? What the hell happened? The paper mill's on fire? What state? Let me check that out. Who wants shots? I can't drink no more. I'm on some medication. Doctors say you're not supposed to drink on medication, and I mean that's just a telltale sign that your doctor doesn't want you to party. I'm just kidding. Take your doctor's advice. Please don't listen to that. I was a joke. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna get in so much fucking trouble. Oh yeah! Hey, Mrs. Linecrosser texted again. So Mrs. Linecrosser is not a Swiftie. She is not. No. But she did have an ex before she met me. Obviously, I'm great, right? She had an ex that thought he had a chance with her. Broke up with her because he was going to a Taylor Swift concert and thought he had a chance with Taylor Swift. Look, ladies, I get it when you say men are stupid. I totally get it. Like, we are. We're not smart creatures. I get it. Makes sense. But y'all ain't great either, okay? I think the best representation we can have is just people suck in general. That's the nature of it. Watching him try accents on the fly makes me want a whole video of the outtakes. I usually delete the outtakes right after they happen. I need to do that. A lot of people have asked for like a video of outtakes, and I need to just save some outtakes. I really do. The doctor's advice be more like guidelines. Zach, no. You're going to get us in trouble. The liability I'm going to have from that. Because I'm telling you, I could just see myself in handcuffs for assisting in someone's suicide at a trial full of a jury of my peers, and they're just watching this live like, look what he said. No. Things that make you go, huh? Howdy, HLC. Love the channel and content, brother. Thanks. Thank you so much, Doc Holiday. Hey, guys, actually, let me see if it's working. I gotta check and see. You may hear me. I gotta go to my video itself. I want to check and see if it's working. See if it's good. View on YouTube. Sorry. Okay, I don't care about that. Showing an ad on my own damn video. Oh, it isn't there. I don't know why it's not there. Oh, that's surprising. Okay. There should be on my videos, I thought it would be on my live as well, a banner right down there that shows the Bunker Branding merchandise link, and it should all be right there and you can see it. I love this design. I guess the thing, I don't know what else I'm going to do with it, but I fucking love this. Like, just 3 missiles and the moon in the background. I'm going to do something with this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I love this fucking design. It's cool as shit. Bourbon, rye, scotch. I'm a bourbon guy. I would do bourbon. I'm sorry, can you run that by us again? Bring back the super chat voice. Oh, come on. You guys asked me to get rid of it. Bro, how long did it take to find out that we are stupid? I mean, not long. I've done some dumb things in my life. I've done some really, really dumb things. I lit myself on fire several times. I've been flash burned by welding without a welding mask and using a cutting torch without any eye protection. I got flash burned twice. Didn't fucking learn the first time. Let Mrs. HLC be a command aircraft. She's the one in charge. I would love to. Mrs. HLC, if you're watching this, you're going to be like an AWACS or something. We're going to make that happen. Don't bring it back. Exhibit A is live streaming HLC courts martial. What about cognac? I'm not a cognac guy. Never been a cognac guy. I do mess with, I'd probably say my favorite, like if I'm going to drink something straight, Blue Label. It's just a good sipping. I think it's like a bourbon whiskey mix. It's not a scotch. I think it's just a bourbon. Might be just a bourbon. But I fuck with Blue Label. If you've never had Blue Label, I'm telling you, like, it smells like a bourbon and it tastes like a bourbon, but there's no burn until you swallow and it gets about right here, and then you feel like a slight burn. But that shit will put you down like a fat kid on a teeter-totter. It's great. I just do it. If it's cold, great. If not, I just put like 1 or 2 ice cubes in there, down the hatch. It's good. Howdy from Florida, Vet here. Appreciate you, bro. Doc Holiday, I appreciate you, man. Hey, were you a medic in the military? I fuck with medics, man. Medics are weird. Medics have no personal boundaries. I will tell you guys this. I played gay chicken with a lot of people in the military. If you don't know what gay chicken is the act of, oh my gosh. Blue Label Scotch. I stand corrected. Sorry. Been a while since I had a bottle of it. It is Scotch. No, it's not Scotch. It's not Scotch. No, that's fucking me up. That's bourbon. Scotch whiskey. She's saying Scotch whiskey. No, there's no way, because I don't like Scotch. Hold on, I gotta check it. I'm gonna check this. Hold on. Come on. It says whiskey. Oh. And then that one says Scotch. I don't know what the fuck it is. Okay? It's good. It's good, though. But no, so Medics, man, I've played Gay Chicken. So Gay Chicken, what Gay Chicken is, if you've never played it, is out of nowhere. Did this several times in Afghanistan. Had it done to me, you just look at one of your buddies and you lean in like you're going to kiss them. And you find out who chickens out first. And I will tell you this. Medics never chicken out. I don't know why. They just have no personal boundaries. None at all whatsoever. I'm not going to elaborate on that. Oh, here we go. What did Mrs. Linecrosser say this time? Liquor and pill never hurt no one as long as you ignore the music industry. I was about to say, man, like, are we sure about that? Farm Shop Chronicles. Nova's like, I'm going to be the best at gay chicken. All right, let me see. Did I miss any other one before I get to that one? Okay. Any thoughts on having a... It is Scotch? That's killing me. My whole life is upside down right now. Any thoughts on having a throwback episode of having another World War II tanks planes talking to each other? I considered it. I do want to do history ones every once in a while, but lately, like, the news has been spicy. So, like, I've had more than enough content. Usually I do, like, the throwback ones when the news is kind of boring. I'm like, let's see what we got. But, yeah. Everyone's like, bourbon is only from Kentucky? Jack Daniels warm. Nemo. Oh, no, I can't. See, me and Jack Daniels used to be good friends. We used to like hang out. We used to be really chill. And then after Afghanistan, I don't know what happened. Like, this is the thing. I was never like one of those, like, I would drink anything and it just makes me like, I'm a happy drunk, man. Like wine, especially dessert wine. I'm the goofiest person in the room until I hit that certain threshold when I've had too much, and then I get real quiet. And that's me trying to focus on keeping the ground from moving. Tequila, I love tequila. Like Patron puts me to sleep. Doesn't matter where I'm at. And I literally mean it doesn't matter. I was in the middle of an adult club, and there was a young lady doing dances, and I had fallen asleep because I was doing shots of Patron all night. It just makes me sleepy, man. But Jack Daniels, after Afghanistan, when I came home, 3 shots of Jack is, I just start hearing Jack Daniels whisper in my ear, you hear that guy? He said he wants to fight you. Yeah. The whiff just likes to be fast. So she doesn't get drunk. She gets fast. That's what she says. So when she drinks, it feels like you ever walk on a treadmill or run on a treadmill for a while and you get off and you feel like you're moving really fast? That's how she feels when she gets drunk. So she doesn't get drunk, she gets fast. Did you hear about Russia's main missiles plant blowing up? Trust me, get blown up by Transformer worse than welding without a helmet. Good, you okay? I did not hear about that missile plant blowing up. I haven't, I'll be honest with you guys, I've been catching little snippets of the news here and there. I've just been so busy, I've had no time. I took 2 naps this week. I never nap. Like, I'm never burned out enough to nap, and I needed naps this week because I'm just burned out. Up paper in men. Oh, man, you guys put big words in there. It's a warehouse full of recycled cardboard pallets, and that's burning. Oh, it's going to burn hot, and it's going to burn for a while, man. Doc Holiday in here. Still like, yep, he's right. What's good, MF? Honestly, what's good is it's Friday. And I was going to sleep in. I really was tomorrow. I was like, I'm going to sleep in. Can't do that. My students have a volunteer project tomorrow, so I have to go out and supervise that. That's fun. I hope one of them isn't in here. You'd have to ignore pro wrestlers. Old Pappy is the smoothest. I've never had Old Pappy. Sing something as the buff.
How much is the bomber in your window? The one who does nothing but break. We'll leave him out in Vladivostok. I can't fucking say that name. And we'll tell he's Russian, okay.
I don't know. I just made that shit up. I got nothing. West Virginia shaped like a middle finger. Random. I know someone's gonna be like, it's next to Virginia, but I have, like, if you asked me to point it on a map where West Virginia is, couldn't find it for you. And I'm American. I have no idea. Like, I know most of the Midwest. I know the West Coast. I know some of the East Coast. I know the South. Northwest, yeah, but no idea where West Virginia is. I'm trying to make sure I stay up with all these. Which one of you shit? Gross. That stinks. Jesus. So throwback episode means you're out of ideas. It just means I haven't been given enough content. That's pretty much what it means. Quebec, the Gael word for Scotch whiskey, means water of life. It's pronounced. Oh, thank you for giving that. West Quebec, West Quebec, which is angelicized, is whiskey. Huh. Learn something new every day. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Oof, Jack tastes like charcoal. Now the Japanese blends are where it's at, bro. Asians. Okay, look. Do we have any Asians in chat? I have a genuine question. I know there's nothing like racist, no jokes here. What is your secret to fried chicken? I don't like. Here, this is the thing. If you've never had like Asian or Korean or Chinese, well, maybe not Chinese, but like Korean fried chicken, bro, it breaks the laws of physics. Okay, so check this out, right? You go to KFC, you go to Raising Cane's, and you put that in a box and you bring that shit home. It's already starting to get a little bit like mushy on the outside. Korean food, Korean chicken, never. It's always crispy. You can put it in a box, put it in the fridge, let it cool down, put it in the microwave it, pull it out, and it's still crispy. It breaks the laws of chicken physics, and I don't know how they do it. This is what we need to be researching, America. I don't know what it is. We need to figure this shit out. Quick chat poll. Is Miss HLC bro or the CO? She's CO. CO for show. Isaac Hamilton. Good day. Now I gotta read it with the Australian accent. I gotta hear myself. Good day, HLC. Love your video. Love your videos. Love having a laugh while hearing on... I'm sorry, man. It's been a while since I've done Australia. On the news of a potential world war. Not scary when your country has all the toys and isn't just updating from F-15 or F-18 Super Hornets and things like that. You are definitely Australian because you guys got the 18s, but you're getting 35s. You're on the 35 program. So, and you're getting submarines. Or you maybe already got them. I don't remember. But Isaac, thank you so much for being here, man. Oh, it did that thing again where it just slides way down. Angie, thank you so much for the donation. Knox Scott, he probably did, man. Panko crumbs, that's the trick. Korean barbecue's the shit. As an Asian, use an air fryer. Lovisa, thank you. Korean fried chicken slaps. Dude, when I was in Korea, they used a oh, what the fuck is it called? A pizza cooker. Like they put the shit on like the little pizza cooker like through the oven. But I have no idea what it was breaded with. Hold on. Let me see if Mrs. Linecross is saying stuff because I'm getting another notification. It's saucy and still crispy. See, that's the thing. Mrs. Linecrosser, she was explaining, like, they put sauce on it. There's this place right here in Lawton called Red Pepper. Go get the red pepper chicken. Life-changing. Phenomenal, right? But you ever get, like, a wing that's covered in wing sauce, right? And after 10 minutes, it's no longer crispy. Theirs is covered in sauce, and it's still crispy. And the next day, it's crispy. Like, how? How, Koreans? Like, what do you do? Lots and lots of MSG. Potato starch, carbonated water in the batter. Seriously, are these all like tricks? What did I just come into? Bro, it's getting wild in here, Chaos. This is why we fought a war to save Korea. That's the best answer right there, Sly. That is it right there. Country Roads is the buff. I'll see if I can.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
It's hard to do.
The Blue Ridge Map.
I can't get the inflection. He's so monotone.
The Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, longer than the mountain.
I can't sing as the buff, but
country road, take me home to the place I'll go bomb.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. That's not the right words. Cornstarch, food fight. Where's Buff in the 22? The 22 is never far away. There you go. I'm out for the night. As always, hope you and Mrs. HLC have a great weekend. Same for everyone in chat. Brandon, thank you so much, man. Like, I love the letter. I love the paintings. Dude, thank you so much. Brandon, you're fucking amazing, dude. The key to crisp is salting under the skin and letting it in the fridge for a few hours so it penetrates as well. This will get you better crisp skin. I'm learning right now. If it's not oil, it's for food recipes we go to war over. I love it. I love it. Would you intercept me? I'd intercept me. Brian Phillips, fuck cancer, fun science for fried chicken each This is the thing. I've lost several family members to the big C, and it's never easy, but I would be behind that even if I had it. I'd be like, no, people need to experience Asian fried chicken. It's delicious. It is so good. Did I miss one? I feel like I missed one. I just had an alert come through that I didn't recognize. Oh, it's the Angie B one. Okay. Just want to make sure. Stealing plug material from Nemo. Grandpa Buff needs new orthodix. Brian Phillips, thank you so much, my dude. We already answered yours, right? Yep. HLC, what would you say for the best air defense system in the world? So that's the thing. The best air defense system is a series of systems. It's knowing what I know about this. People they often ask, can you compare Patriot to Iron Dome? Well, no. They both have a different threat set. They both have a different capability, limitation, range, dive calculations, radar search sectors. Like there's so many differences. I can't make that comparison. Well, can you compare Patriot to that? No, they're also very, very different. But I will say American and NATO systems are far better than Russian. Chinese, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Hey, HLC, what would you say? Oh, yeah, we already answered that. Hey, it's Canada. It's never a war crime the first time, Derry. Greeting from Europe land, bro. I really want to go back to Europe. I really do. I passed through Germany and I passed through London Heathrow, and I don't know if you guys count the island as part of Europe. I mean, I do. Someone asked, do I cook or do you? Mrs. Linecrosser cooks. She cooks very, very well. Obviously, I haven't missed a meal. But yeah, and then is Romania considered Europe? I'm not being a smartass. Because it's kind of like right there on the Black Sea. It would be Europe. It would be Europe, I think. We should reactivate the battleships. As much I love my favorite ship in the world is the Iowa class battleship. I love it. They're elegant, they're sleek, they're fucking beastie. Like they demand respect. With beyond line of sight warfare and missiles, they'd get bodied by a DDG. And I hate admitting that. I fucking hate every part of that. Now, a battleship upgraded, lose the guns, change them out with VLS, give it really powerful radars. Now we can talk. I'm fucking here for it. Like that's a beyond line of sight fucking champion right there. That's what we need. China didn't see the bone passing over it before diverting to the Middle East. Romania is definitely Europe. Look, my missus knows this story. I was in Romania. I was on my way into Afghanistan. She knows this. She knows about this. This is long before I met her. Look, if you don't think that you can get... How do I word this in a way that's good for YouTube? If you don't think that it's possible to get intimate with somebody that you have a language barrier with and using nothing but kind of charades, you're incorrect. Also, when I was walking through the airport in Romania, every single woman I saw was a straight 10. Like, they were like Gal Gadot fucking gorgeous. Like, they were just, wow. I was on my way to Afghanistan, thought I was going to die.
Intercept me?
There's, albeit small, but there's a tiny
bug you
possibility
on the
there.
Hummer. Kinda special
There
to
could be a
me.
little HLC running
Paying
around Romania, and I have
500
no
for a
shame in
good
admitting that.
Hummer corrector.
It was a stupid thing to do. Yeah. CMH Ender, thank you so much for the donation, my dude. CO and Cook. I'm telling you. Another one from Daddy Rob. Still gonna bug you on the Hummer. Kind of special to me. You'll pay me $500 for a good Hummer character. I gotta think of it like let me think. When I think of a Hummer, I think of like the Jeep character from the Willys Jeep character from Cars. I kind of think of like that guy. I was thinking about using Arlie Ermy. I can get the cadence of Arlie Ermy right, but I can't get the tone. It still evades me. What do I think of balaclavas? They're amazing. I used the shit out of them when I was in Colorado Springs. Tell you what, Rob, I will try and get a good Hummer character in the near future. Let me see what I can do. I will try and find a reason to use one, and I will try and have a reason to bring them in. First time seeing the stream. Hopefully it goes well. Mr. Tony Chopper FRFR. Gets weird in here, bro. Gets very strange in here. Forgot to type a question. The Russian rocket facility going up in flames this weekend. Accident, and how soon do you get out? So, I don't know. A lot of people have actually asked me to comment on a lot of things that have happened in Russia lately, like the downing of that aircraft. People were really quick to be like, boom, it was Patriot. I don't have enough variables to make that assessment. I don't. I want to make that assessment, but if I can figure out where the Patriot system was in relation to the aircraft that was shot down, I can tell you yes or no if that is a capability of U.S. Patriot. As for the rocket facility, it is not an unknown fact that there are large numbers of saboteurs that are in Russia that are trying to more or less sabotage Russia. There's also large numbers of drones, and of course a strategic victory for the Ukrainians would be to annihilate a Russian rocket facility. So all signs point to yes, but knowing the Kremlin and how they operate, they will absolutely say that it was a freak accident because they don't want people to think that that the enemy got that far in. Drill Sergeant Angry Cop should be the Hummer. I will call him. Use a Patton for the Hummer. If I could get Patton's voice down, I would be all for it. Minion or Humvee voice for Humvee voice. Cajun accent sounds like it's both Southern and French. That's pretty much the way Cajuns are. Yellow H1 asshole drivers. Oh dear God, radioactive. I don't know. Look, no one has prepared me with the amount of leadership skills I need to succeed in this situation right now. I have no idea what to do. Like a little part of me is curious, but the vast majority of me is kind of mortified at this point. Loving how there's no CWIZ notification. I fall asleep to these streams a lot and wake up with PTSD. Hey, I'm sorry, Terry. I mean, well, I'm glad that it's better for you. Yeah, I had a lot of people comment stating, hey, can you get rid of it or, not read it or, I got to figure out because I was stepping on myself. And I realized that there was so much coming in that I could no longer have one for every single last little thing. So I made the executive decision. First live you caught? Oh, Brenton. So The big fat one over there in white, that's Nox, and then the one you can't see on the camera, that's Rain. They both have medical conditions called fat. It's good for you. Arnie drives an H1 Alpha, so man-pad down helis. Hold on. Also man-pad down heli. So I know man-pad has downed helicopters in Ukraine, but I'm talking about the big like command and control radar plane that they had. It was over the ocean. So I was looking at it, and it was close enough to Ukraine that it could have been a Patriot engagement. Now, for anyone out there who's like, well, why didn't they deploy flares or chaff? Look, flares, chaff, or Jesus Christ himself, nothing can save you from me. I'm going to be totally transparent with you. The power that radar has, flares, chaff, or Jesus Christ, nothing's going to save you. And I say that as respectfully as I can, but like nothing is going to stop my missiles. Theoretically, it could. Now, some people are saying Frank and Sam. I don't know enough about Frank and Sam to make that assessment. S-300 does have that range as well, but Stinger does not. It was 20 kilometers up, and Stinger can't reach that high. Stinger's like 5 kilometers. Or, sorry, it was 20,000 feet, which is... No, it was 20 kilometers up. 20... Fucking... I gotta figure it. But it just... Stingers can't reach that high. Protocol 4? Oh, it is Protocol 4? Okay. It was Chuck Norris in a paraglider. Hang on, they haven't heard it yet. Watch the camera. Watch the camera. Rain saw it, but... There it is. Both of them just jumped up. Come here, Buffalo. Ow. Hey, don't bite my fingers. That hurt. You need to apologize. Okay. Here, Miss Rain. Okay, you get one more. And one more for Miss Rain. All right, go on. Go to bed. Good boy. Go to bed. Make the new battleship have 2 triple turrets and the rest of the ship lined with missile launchers and AA systems. Like the Iowas, but it costs too much to retrofit in current Iowa. Yeah, you'd have to completely start from scratch. The superstructures are too degraded, which sucks. AC-130 Spectre is Clint Eastwood. Oh, yeah. I fuck with the...
You have to ask yourself, did I just fire 7,000 rounds or 3,000? But do you feel lucky, punk?
So yeah, fucking whatever. You go to MEP on Tuesday and got my option 40. Hey, congratulations. That's I believe it's a Special Forces contract, question mark? Or maybe it was Ranger option. Look, man, I've never been to Ranger school. My old platoon sergeant when I was in Afghanistan was a former Ranger instructor, and he said, as long as you can starve yourself and not sleep for 60 days, Ranger school is easy. I can't do hunger. Look, guys, I can do cold. I can do hot. I can do sleep deprivation. I can do like uncomfortable positions. I can do a lot of that stuff. Hunger? Nope. I am the biggest baby in the world when it comes to hunger. And I know my strengths and my weaknesses. Like, and I get crazy, and I'm not like, oh, I start yelling and screaming. No. Like, if you put me in SEER, which is survive, evade, resist, and escape, I believe I got those acronyms right, which is like pretty much a school where they teach you to survive out in the wilderness, and then they hunt your ass down, put you in a jail, and interrogate the shit out of you. Pilots go through it. Special forces go through it. Like, you have to go through it. And I'd be like, all right, guys, when the guard comes by, I'm going to pin him to the wall, and I'm going to eat his fucking face. Like, I would say some weird shit like that, and I just get kicked out of the course. I can't do hunger, man. I cannot. HLC, long-time listener. What's up, Fat Russia? Long-time listener, first-time chatter. What do you think of a 30-plus-year-old having a midlife crisis and deciding to go for a career change and join the armed forces for the first time? Just need to lose 30 pounds to qualify. Fat Russian, I will tell you, this is the same advice I give to anybody who wants to enlist in the military. And keep in mind, I'm not sponsored by the military. Like, yes, I work for them, but like, I'm not a recruiter, right? And I will tell you, the U.S. military is the best bad decision I ever made in my life. So let me first start out with why it was a bad decision. It was a stupid split-second decision. I was tired of life at home. I wanted to get away. I needed to get the fuck away. And I was like, I called the recruiter. I was like, look, I got no gas in my truck to get to you guys, but I want to join the Army. And they like just pulled up to the front door. They were there immediately. Took the ASVAB. I was ready to go. Like, I was a prime candidate. Boom, I was out the door in like 2 weeks. But the United States military has given me the confidence, competence, the drive, the motivation to really succeed in life and pursue things the right way. So I would say absolutely. If you're looking for a career change, the military, I mean, think about it, dude. I get paid to work out every morning. How many of y'all get paid to work out? Like, they're like, oh, you got to go to PT. Yeah, I get paid to work out. I'm getting paid for that. I get paid to fucking sit in an office when there's nothing to do. I also get paid to work really long hours. I mean, so it's a give and take. But I highly recommend it, Fat Russian. I really do. It's a great career field. They pay for your college. Like, and I've seen old timers, and like, the military is a young kid's game. It's absolutely a young guy's game. But I've seen people join at 30, and I've seen people join later than 30 and become very successful in the military because they know how everything works. They got a more well-rounded brain because they've been out there in the real world. Some of these kids, they've never had a job, and their parents are like, you better go join the military. So they do. And they're like, this army sucks. And then they get out and they realize how good the military is easy, man. Literally wake up, it does what it's told, go home. That's it. Everybody has a boss. Yep, there you go. My sister joined late and she's doing just fine. She joined, she was 27, I think. Oh my gosh. Okay. Mrs. Landcrosser, can you stop? She just broed me too. All right, hang on, I gotta catch up on these. I appreciate your ability to debunk misinformation and love the comedy. That's the thing, man. Brenton, thank you. Like, on top of obviously trying to make people laugh and trying to make people, happy because the world is a shit place, I really genuinely enjoy, like, breaking things down in a simple, easily digestible way. For some reason, I don't know why the mainstream media, they talk to one person about one specific aspect of something, and then they just take that as gospel. And it's like, well, that's not necessarily the case. Let's get a few different opinions on what is going on, and then based on the overlap of information, we can make a clear understanding of this. So, like, there's sometimes I talk about things that I knew nothing about before I started doing research. I knew nothing about. When I talk about SHORAD, I work with SHORAD guys. So I go over, hey, what's the stinger do? How does it work? How long does it take to lock? Like, I start asking questions. They're like, why are you asking this? Like, I'm going to make a video about it, and I don't want to sound like an idiot, so I want to be well-versed on this stuff. So I do appreciate it, man. Arlie Ermy got to be for something USMC like AH1Z. If, like I said, I can get the cadence right in his voice. I can get the cadence, just like I can get the cadence of the Fat Electrician. I can't get the tone right, because his cadence is like, hang on, let me see. I got to be able to hear myself. Let me think of something he said. Today we're talking about my new favorite aircraft, the most gangster fucking platform. Like, I can get the cadence, but I can't get the voice right. So, I'm working on it, though. I want to get that one, because I would love to, next time I go on unsubscribe, just sign on with everyone else's sign on. Like, they all introduce themselves, and I'm like, today we're talking about, and like, just have the Fat Electrician look at me. And then, Donut's there or something, I'd just be like, hi, everybody, Donut here. Like, I can get the cadence, but I can't get the voice yet. We're getting there. Woody Woodpecker for the voice of the Su-34. Country v. Country, banter is the best. It kills me every time. I'm glad you guys love it. Thoughts on tanker boots? Stand by. I don't know where mine went. You guys know I used to be a 19 kilo for the first 3 years of my military career. I was a tanker, earned my tanker boots. They're very comfortable. They're like slippers. They're really comfortable. Super lightweight. Really nice. I like them. They look goofy as shit, though. They could really fix those. Have I checked out Helldivers 2? No. The only spare time I've had to play any video games, I've been playing Enshrouded. If you guys haven't played Enshrouded, get it on Steam. It's like $30. Like, Pal World was good. Don't get me wrong. Pal World is a great game. Great game. A lot of fun. Enshrouded is on a whole other fucking level. I haven't experienced an addiction to a survival game like that since I started playing 7 Days to Die. It's literally all I want to do. I don't, like, this week, any spare time I've had aside from trying to sleep, it wasn't like I need to make content. It was like, I need to play Enshrouded. Like, I have a whole fucking addiction to that shit. Love you, love your channel. Should the military employ civilian mediators? I feel like they could be a major help if, so, Mr. Lawrence, I'm not sure. Let's break this down as best we can. So, civilian mediators as to what? If we're talking like service member to service member, we kind of already have that with like military family life consultants and various like behavioral health specialists. If we're talking between our military and others, we have diplomats, we have people with different types of immunities who try and negotiate with others. Secretary Blinken could be considered something like that. He's kind of a go-between. Usually we try and utilize the civilian aspect as much as we possibly can, because the military is utilized when diplomacy fails. Like, this is the easiest way to look at it. I think it's an old quote. It's like, the military is there when diplomacy fails. When politicians fail at their jobs, we're not allowed to fail at ours. Like, that's the main difference. They talk all day long. They sign executive orders. They write up paperwork. They argue with each other. They swing votes because they can. Like, they do that shit. That's what they do. My job is to eliminate the threat. Like, that's clear, cut, and dry. There is a threat to me and my asset, my troops, my friends, whoever. I need to protect that. I will eliminate the threat. So, I think I answered that question appropriately. I hope. Richard Chung, you hear about a nuke rocket they found in I heard about that. I saw the article. I didn't read it. Think that's why no one invade the U.S. fear weapon system Grandpa keeps in his garage. So here's the thing. You got to understand. Americans, and I say this as politely as I can, Americans are brainwashed. Now let me explain. Brainwashing isn't always like a you don't know what you're talking about type thing. No. A lot of other countries, Afghanistan for example, they didn't care that we were there. They just didn't care. Most Afghans didn't give a shit that we were there. They're just like, okay, it's another group of people who think that we belong to them. Cool. I'm going to do my own thing. Like, they don't care. They didn't think there was a difference between us, the Russians, the Brits. They didn't give a shit because it was just another occupier. And as soon as we left, the Taliban moved back in and it's like, all right, cool, it's just another occupier. They don't think like we do. Like, Americans have this, we have a fucking chip on our shoulder. We have a huge chip on our shoulder. So, like, we can't share that mentality with them. They're like, oh, it's just another person in charge of us. That's not what we do. So, like, if somebody were to show up, Americans have this mentality of this, like, nationalism, and nationalism in certain aspects can be very dangerous, but nationalism in a controlled environment, I believe the way that, American nationalism and patriotism is portrayed, can really be beneficial to the defense of the homeland. As Americans, we're not very good at, like, quitting. We just don't do that. I have the firm belief that the only reason the United States has never won a World Cup is because not enough Americans have cared about it. If Americans in large numbers were like, we need to win a World Cup, we'd win one. That's just the way it is. When Americans in large numbers like, we need to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. Okay, we did. When Americans in large numbers said, we need to start competing in F1. Okay, we did. Like, Americans, we just have this huge chip on our shoulder. I love America. I love the United States. And sometimes that chip is our greatest strength. Sometimes it's also our weakness. So take that with a grain of salt. Aggressive negotiations. Oh, is Rob leaving? I'm sorry, did I miss it, Rob? Daddy Rob, don't leave me. Afghans actually kind of like the Brits. Again, could be area specific. They're very tribal. Some Afghans did, some Afghans didn't. Like the Pashtuns were kind of cool with the United States. The what the fuck were they called? They spoke Farsi. They were not a big fan of the United States, but they were kind of cool with some other people. So really depends. Cheers to you, brother Chug. One for Chesty and one for Toby. Hope to continue to see some awesome memes from you. He's a Marine. Absolutely. Marines, I gotta uncover my ear for this because I gotta make sure the noises are right. Marines talk in 50% grunts, like cavemen. Like, I'm not being a smartass. Like, they do like noises, grunts, like rah, yut, kill. Like, it's just, that's the way they are. So he said rah, and you a Marine. I can't drink right now, Lumberjack, but I will. I will once I'm off these meds, man. Can we hear the buff voice like?
I've done the buff voice like 3 times, Terry. You just get in here. It's okay, though. I'll do a nice one for you.
Yeah, there's 2 pooches over there. There's a big fat one who thinks he fits in a small bed. Nationalism is a very misunderstood word. I agree. Weapons. Did I use it incorrectly? I'm here for the back and forth. You answered my question adequately. I was referring to interbranch and intra-branch mediation within the U.S. military. Okay, that makes sense. Hank Hill type voice. God damn it, Bobby. I'll sell propane and propane. Someone made a meme a long time ago, and it was like it showed like a SDM or not SDM, S&M, sadism and masochism. It's like the sexual torture thing, like dungeon, and it said propane, and then it showed like whips and chains and shit. And it said propane accessories, and then it showed fucking Hank Hill like heavy breathing intensifies. And every time I hear propane and propane accessories, that's all I think of. Let me see. How's Mrs. HLC been doing? She's good. I mean, we take it a day at a time. We got Hobs back. He's in a little box in our room. The people there at Heavenly Pets, Oklahoma, they did amazing work. I can't thank them enough. They were super polite. They were very professional. They worked around our schedule. They stayed late for us. It was really, really nice. Highly recommend those guys. God forbid you do lose a pet. How do the Marines eat spaghetti? I feel like this is a joke, but I got nothing. Very Big Al, how do the Marines eat spaghetti? What character do you think for U.S. submarines? So, submarines I've tinkered with a little bit, and I want... My goal entirely is to make all of my characters iconic in their own way, right? Like, I like this character because of this. I like this character because of this. Submarines. I'd have to think about that one because I think I've done submarines before, and they were like a Bostonian accent or some shit like that. I can't remember what I did. I would love to do voices with HLC. So here's the thing. It is so hard. Like right now with my spare time that I have, which is incredibly limited, I'll come home on lunch. I'll be like, hey, honey, can you get me lunch? I got to record a video so I can get it uploaded and get it all edited and everything like that. And I'll come up here through lunch, edit a video, get it all ready to go, upload it, get it, set to like its release time, and then I'll freaking go downstairs, I'll eat lunch, then I'm back to work, and then I get off of work, and I'm like, all right, I got to work on this, do this paperwork. Like it is. So the hard part about getting other people to do voices is to actually like get them a script, because I have to take the time, I have to find the time to write the script, send it to them, and then we have to bounce ideas back and forth, to make sure that they understand what's going on. And if they send me a product and they miss maybe a punchline or a delivery, I got to be able to talk to them about that. Like it's so hard to do, man. Mario Ramirez, thank you so much for the dono, my dude. I'm glad I caught the live, but I have to celebrate my 28th birthday. My one question for you is, are you confident your fellow air defenders can handle a worst-case attack? So I'm not thinking about can they handle it. Like air defenders, we are trained very, very highly. And I have the absolute confidence that they will utilize those systems as best as they possibly can. I will tell you this from personal experience, and I told my tangos this, the launcher guys, when I was in UAE. I said, if we are to die, I want it to be because we ran out of missiles, not because of incompetence. And I told them, I was like, you better make me a promise. Every canister that we have available to throw on a launcher had better be empty before I give any of you permission to die. They're like, all right, we can do that. Worst case scenario, no one's safe. There's not enough air defense in the world. No one has it. The world is going to end. Either, could break open the Earth's crust. We could freaking shift the magnetic poles. Like, there's so much that could happen. Humanity is done for, worst case. So, worst case of what might actually happen conventionally, yes, absolutely. I have the utmost confidence in my air defenders. Kelsey Grammer, he was down. I love Down Periscope. It's one of my favorite military movies. And everyone I've ever talked to who's a submariner is like, it's actually kind of like that. Like, submariners are like straight up. Look up Jig Turkey's great for submarines. I'm a Russian submarine commander. Sean Connery, you hired him to play Sean Connery. You never hired him to play a part. Ever. Hank Hill for the Humvee. They're propane. The 50, tow, and Mark 19 are propane accessories. I love it. I love it. I'm absolutely here for it. What is my favorite Cold War plane? Mine's the F-104. Ooh. So technically it was during the Cold War, because the Cold War really started in the 1950s, right after World War II. So I would have to say the F-4U Corsair, which is my favorite of all aircraft. I love it. That's why I haven't added it as a character, is because I haven't done it enough justice. I can't create a character that does it enough justice, and I am very self-conscious about it. Like when I did the... I do love the Tomcat. I would say jet aircraft... Tomcat is kind of tied for the F-22 in my book. Favorite Delta Wing, Eurofighter Typhoon. Favorite cargo craft, C-17. Love the C-130. I'm not hating on the C-130, but a C-17, the capabilities coupled with the pilots who fly those pilots think they're fighter pilots. I don't know if you've ever flown in a C-17. Them motherfuckers think they're fighter pilots. Every single goddamn time. God damn it, Bobby, I told you to get a fix on that boat. I love it. Jive Turkey, Jig Turkey. Was a sonar man in Ohio. Retired now. His Cold War water streams were really good. He was persuaded to stop by clearance people. That makes sense. Wolfram, C-130 is better. Nemo's about to stop you for spam, Wolfram. Can I do a vid where you show us all your voices? Actually, I wouldn't be... I could do that. I could definitely do that. Maybe. F4U is a good KIA comic to aircraft ratio, but not Buffalo. It does. I like the F4U Corsair because it was an uphill battle. Like, you were fighting jet MiGs with a prop aircraft because America was late to the party. Like, we took P-51 Mustangs, gave them bigger engines, kind of lowered and swept the wings so they could fold up and launch off of aircraft carriers and be stacked right. And we're just like, look, you're going against jets that can pretty much outperform you in everything except for turns. Good luck. And those F4U Corsair pilots were still fucking causing damage. Like, if the F4U had never been used, it probably wouldn't be my favorite aircraft. But because it was just in a complete uphill battle and it was still holding its own, that's why it has a special place in my heart. Because very rarely is the United States outgunned. And I'm not talking shit. It's just, that's kind of a fact. But that was one war, the Korean War. We were heavily outgunned by MiGs. And the F4U was still putting in work. I can't be mad at it. Hold on. Flares chat for Jesus. Nothing can save you from HLC. If you don't like, share, subscribe. You guys are using my quotes to get people to like, share, and subscribe. I love it. I absolutely love it. You should be a voice. I would love to. Honestly, I would love to just get into regular acting. I really would. But it really depends on, if they really want me. I do know, so JT from Time for Pie podcast, I've been on that one once. I may get on it again here in the near future. And then Caleb Francis and JT, he was one of the ones that made the movie Range 15. And yeah, it was a satirical movie, and it wasn't made to be a big hit. It was just kind of, it was military humor, dick and fart jokes. I would love to participate in something like that. JT, if you're watching this, peas and cheese. Yes, I would love to ride in any of those. Oh yeah, C-17 is really maneuverable, has great short field capabilities. The C-17, again, they've almost made me vomit. Those pilots think they're fighter pilots, but it really puts it in perspective. When you're in a pitch angle, like you peek out the little porthole window and you're in a pitch angle that's like 80 degrees coming off a fucking runway, and you look back and there's 100 troops, 3 trucks, and 2 fucking flat racks full of bags behind you, and this thing is accelerating at an 80-degree pitch. Like, it just puts it in perspective how powerful them fucking C-17s are. And C-5, yeah, it's the big boy, but they're woefully unreliable. I can vouch for that. C-17 pilots do think they're fighter pilots. See? All right, let's see here. Damn it, Bobby, I told you I didn't want to invade Iraq. All right. Never too late, we have our own timeline. Haven't lived until you've done a C2 or landing in a... what's a C2? I'm not familiar. I know C-130, C-5, and C-17. But isn't the C2 the... oh yeah, I think I know what that is. That's the one the Special Operations uses with the Air Force. Hi, HLC. Don't know if you care for fantasy planes, but I think you would like Ace Combat's CFA-44. No, Nosferatu. Much love. Thank you for all you do. So I've had a lot of people say that I should try out Ace Combat. And maybe when I get out of the military, I will have control of my schedule again. And it'll be wonderful. I would so much... adore having control of my schedule. Because right now, look, I will tell you, there are some things that the military does really good. And there are some things that we do really bad. There is zero, listen to me, commanders, first sergeants, sergeants major, sergeant major of the Army, the vice chief of staff, listen to me. There is zero training value in keeping your soldiers cold during PT. Zero. Keep them cold in the field, keep them cold on their equipment, teach them to operate in austere conditions. That makes sense. But if I'm doing push-ups in the fucking snow, it provides zero training value. And I've been cold every winter for the last 15 years. I'm so tired of being fucking cold, man. Sorry. That was my rant. Oh yeah, I was supposed to give a like. It's done. Thank you so much, Aura. Shalom. I was not aware that y'all did live streams. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, Missouri Reaper. Yeah, I do. I need to open that window more. It is toasty in here. Between this light that has like built-in fans and my PC, it is warm in here. Hold on. I'm gonna just. You'll see my feet over by the dog cam. Hi, Buffalo. It's a good boy. Yes, of course, you guys saw me pet my dog. That's my best bud. F4 in Korea where the 20mm cannon arms one. Yeah, there's, again, uphill battles. I mean, I would compare it also to the P-51 Mustang pilots who were fighting Messerschmitt 262s. But there was like very few Messerschmitt 262s, and there was a metric fuck ton of P-51 Mustangs in the air at that time. There was also... oh god, what are they called? Spitfires and Hawker Hurricanes from the Brits. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, obviously German Stukas, but straight to the heart if they have one. Doggo's watched every movie made. He does. That's my dude. Unfortunately, Knox has a... I like your TED Talk about cold PT. This is the thing, man. Knox heard his name. So Knox, he's been on some anti-stress medication as of lately, and because he's very stressed out, and the only thing that is relaxed is his butthole, because randomly about 10 times a day he'll be walking and drop out a poo nugget. And honestly, like, yes, it's gross, but I'm kind of proud of him because he was inside his kennel downstairs and we were gone. We came back and there was a turd nugget like 2 feet outside that kennel. So he must have stretched and fired that bad boy out, and he got some range. Like, I can't even... Look, guys, I don't know if y'all have ever tried to launch a turd 2 feet. I can't. That was some distance. I'm proud of this boy. All right, Knox, go to bed. Go to bed. Bed. C2 is being replaced by the CV-22. I second the Ace Combat playthrough. Also tried Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. I don't know enough about the Battlestar Galactica world. Like, I never really got interested in Battlestar Galactica, and I will say this. Look, there's going to be someone in here who just loses their mind when I say this, because every time I do, somebody does. I think the visuals of Warhammer 40,000 look cool as fuck. I have no idea where to start. Like, I think when Space Marine 2 comes out, I might start there and just like play it, see what it's about, and maybe learn about what's going on. I want to learn the story, but there's so much lore out there for Warhammer 40K that where the fuck do you start? That's like trying to tell someone where to start with Star Wars. Do you have them start at episode 1? Do you have them start at episode 3? Or not episode 3, episode 4, the old ones. Or do you have them start with books? Where do we start? P-51s were also not scary to land. So I got a, when I was playing for a little while, I was playing Microsoft Flight Sim, and I bought a P-51, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be so fucking cool, I'm going to fly a P-51. I didn't realize how much drift that motor created, because I tried doing like I do with the jets, and I was like, boom, throttle up, and that thing, like, it just started turning right because of the crank of the engine. So you have to gradually increase, and as soon as you get up to the right speed, you can like wheels up, full throttle, and then you just counter steer it. It's nuts. Madam EXE, We can add hot flashes to your list. So got a question. What's in the elephant walk? Is it Uncle Sam showing his business or what? An elephant walk. What is in an elephant? What is an elephant walk? I'm gonna have to look it up. Oh yeah, that's all that is. Sorry, I had to look up a picture. As soon as I saw a picture, I was like, oh yeah. Photo ops. So here's the thing, like a lot of dictators in other countries out there, you know how they do like their parades where they have all their military equipment go by, saluting their dictator as they go by. You know why the United States doesn't do that? Because the parade would never end. And I'm not even being a smartass. Like, we have over 19,000 Humvees. If you saw 5 Humvees a minute, that's 3 days worth of Humvees. It's a lot of fucking Humvees. Sorry, I'm missing out tonight. It's D&D night for me. We'll have to watch the upload later. Hey, it's all good, Devin Elliott. Thank you so much for being here, my dude. Wing Commander comes out and does it better. What the fuck? I never got into Battlestar Galactica, man. I always wanted to. Let me see here. Dawn of War 1 and 2 are great Warhammer introductions. I'll write that down. Dawn of War 1 and 2. Is that a book or is it a movie? Is it... Landing elephant walk. Yeah, so what an elephant walk is, it's a whole bunch of planes all together in like a nice formation on a runway, just kind of slowly cruising down a runway, and they take a whole bunch of pictures. It's called an elephant walk. It's just a photo op. If you want to learn 40K in bite size, Luton or Apidus Ridiculous in YouTube are good, solid option. Reading, you start with the Horus Heresy books. Luton or Adeptus Ridiculous. Okay, got it. I'm again, it looks cool as shit. Like, I love the whole idea of a space marine. I know very little about it, but like, they're bred to not feel fear. Like, it's removed from them. They're huge. They are like fucking crazy strong. They're pretty much like evil Spartans. Well, they're not even really evil. They're just numb. I don't know. I like the whole idea. It's super cool. Caiaphas Cain is a book, audio book, Black Ladder style. Caiaphas Cain. I'm writing it down. P. There we go. I got another 10 that says Russia's Victory Day Parade is going to be under 10 minutes. It was pretty bad last year when we saw T-34 go through. I was like, ooh, oh. That's like America having like a Desert Storm parade, but all we have come through is like Sherman tanks and P-51 Mustangs, and we float a battleship by like that because that's all we have left. Like, it was so bad, man. A Sherman, yeah. I don't even play 40K, and I love the orcs. Their lore is hilarious. It just looks cool. Horus Heresy is absolutely good, as he said. Horus Heresy. Dude, bro, guy, your little green screen vids fucking kill me. I'm not the former service myself, but I read a lot. Needless to say, your funnies make my day sometimes. Much love from Texas. Charles, thank you so much, my dude. Anything you want to ask? Normally, I'd be like, well, what kind of characters do you guys want? And you guys are very quick to tell me which ones you want already, so I don't know. 40K will drain your savings. Stay away from the table. Oh, no, I don't have time for tabletop, man. I have no time for that. You should go pet your dog. Which one? Nox or Rain? He heard his name. I'm going to go pet him. I'll go pet him. Ah, my buffalo. That's my buffalo. My best bud. You got an eye booger. You got another eye booger. All right, go lay down. Go on. All right, let me see here. I have to ask where you got your alias. I'm curious because my coworker once dubbed me Perpetual Line Crosser. So, when I was a battery trainer in 3-2 Air Defense Artillery, per the Doctrine, which is ATP 3-01.86, or also known as the .86 or the Patriot Bible. Per Doctrine, we are required to have 6 months to train up from Table 0 to Table 8. We got up ordered faster than normal. We were expected to go on rotation faster than normal. So they're like, you have 90 days. Cut my training schedule in half. And I was like, look, sir, I'll get you guys trained, but it's not going to be pretty. He's like, I don't care as long as they're trained. Okay. So I bent and broke a lot of rules, but my crews knew what the fuck they were doing. And that's what matters to me. Like, I don't care about the paperwork, the slideshows, making shit look pretty. Pending any questions, sir. Next slide. Like, I hate that shit. But if you want me to make somebody lethal on the battlefield, I fucks with that. Like, that's where I'm at, right? Like, my mentality is like, I don't care. Like, if I'm briefing a commander and he's questioning me about the font I used on my slide, I have no trust in your ability to do your fucking job. I'm going to go make sure your soldiers can take care of themselves because obviously you can't. Sorry, that's my opinion. But anyways, so I broke and bent a lot of rules. And my commander was like, Sergeant Long? I was like, yes, sir. He goes, you know, you should have been in a lot of trouble for all the rules you bent. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're a habitual line crosser. Mm-hmm. He's like, you know why you're not? No, sir. He's like, you're really fucking good at what you do. I was like, thanks for playing to my strengths, sir. I'm going to go sleep for 3 weeks. Because I was like working like 5 a.m. to like 10 o'clock at night, 6 days a week. I was run ragged to try and meet those demands. But yeah, what are my thoughts on the cartel with the K? Thugs are thugs, man. No matter where they're at. I understand why they exist. They exist because the government has no ability to police them effectively. If they did, they wouldn't exist. His CO shows up in chat. I don't have a CO. Ha. Can we just see more F-14, please? Eventually. Can't believe I'm about to defend the Russians, but here's it goes. The Victory Day Parade is supposed to be kind of like a Memorial Day Parade, but with only wars celebrated was World War II. Makes sense. I don't disagree with you. Are you on Fort Sill now? I am. Yeah. You should consider an Olympics of the equipment. Who's gonna get the jump? Bring in more F-18. I really want to work on that voice. I get the cadence right, but getting the voice right is hard. Who inspired me to just put what I make out in the street and not care if people like it or not? Exactly, dude. Exactly, Rockcat. I will tell you. So here's the thing about social media content creation, and I hope you all take this. If you're curious about content creation, or if you want to do content creation, I will tell you, if you take 100 people who say they want to be content creators, 60% of them right off the rip are always going to find an excuse. 60%. Boom, take out those 60. Those guys are always going to, well, I don't want to show my face, or it takes too much time, or I don't know how to edit. They're always going to find an excuse. Then you're going to have the additional 40. And of those 40, 20 to 25 of them, I'm going to be honest with you, they will never find ground because they never find their niche. They never find what they're good at. They keep doing the same thing over and over instead of innovating, finding out what people like and then putting that in there and working those things in. They don't put their time. I watch my videos over and over and over because I want to know if I hit those jokes right. Because I've had great jokes that I delivered poorly and they didn't land the way I wanted to. So I learn. I constantly study my actions and see what your guys' reactions are to my actions. And I try and leverage in the directions that make you happier and get you the things you want to see. And then, so let's say there's 20 right there. Of those additional 20 that are left, maybe 5 to 10 of them are really going to continue to stick it out because the other ones are going to start, they're going to get discouraged, and they're going to quit. I've been doing social media content creation technically since 2017. I only really started getting ground in around 2019. That's when I really started. And I only started doing like the green screen content last year because I finally figured out what I can do well and what I gravitate towards. Because if you try and do a content that does not vibe with the person that you are, you're never going to be successful. If it is not a natural persona part of you, it's just never going to happen. And I used to watch the news all the time and I was like, I can make fun of this. And that's what I did. Best joke to date for me was Texan, Poland being Texas. Oh yeah, little European Texas. Why did the military remove the GED requirement? Because I will tell you, JD, they remove the requirement because they'll probably require you to go to a preschool before, and I don't like preschool like babies, right? But like a school to get your GED before you attend basic training. That's probably what they're going to do. But what I will tell you is some of the smartest people I've ever met have some of the lowest ASVAB scores. They don't test well. They don't read well. Like that's not their thing. But they're really good at their job because they're passionate about it. And some of the dumbest people I've ever met have college educations. So, I guess knowledge versus wisdom. I don't know if that makes sense. Welcome to HLC Live. I call him Mr. Homework because he doesn't. What the fuck? I can't with y'all. Here. Preschool and fat camps, new army. Hey man, that's what we got to do. I can't be mad at it because ultimately we have to leverage in the way that people pay attention. Childhood obesity is running rampant in the United States. So if the military wants to maintain certain physical standards, we have to do that. Now, is it the army to blame that we have these fat camps? No, technically it's the kids and the parents. They're not as active. They're eating garbage. You know, it is what it is, right? But ultimately we have an end state goal, which is we must get people in and we must complete our mission, so we have to make adjustments. So Mach 2 Bumblebee's a drug for me. I made a second verse, but I don't know what I did with it. I probably should eventually do that. But what I will tell you is, and I hope someone at the Pentagon sees this, because I mean I'm 1 foot out the door anyways. I'm going to be getting out. The US government has not realized the power of social media. They haven't figured it out. They have not figured out how powerful social media is. Let me put it to you this way. Do you know how many people watched the Super Bowl last year? I'll tell you. I looked up the numbers. 113 million, which sounds like a lot until you realize daily on YouTube, there's over 255 million users. So for an ad to put in the Super Bowl, it costs roughly $250,000 per second. You take what it costs to make a 1-second video and you sprinkle that money into a whole bunch of creators and you tell them to make recruiting ads for the United States Army. And guess what? You just reached equal or more people than you would putting together a Super Bowl ad, and you did it for a 60th of the cost. But right now, while I'm enlisted, I will help out Uncle Sam. The second I'm out, my price quadruples. Sooner or later, they'll figure it out. They did. They made the computer game. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We need a military working dog character. Ooh, that's actually not half bad. Nova stuck it out. I'm bouncing in and out. Sorry, guys. It's okay, Nova. Surprisingly good. I pay attention, guys. I want to know things because there's everyone thinks they're right. Remember I told you it's more better to be correct than it is to be right. Correct means that you can accept new information, and they may be synonymous to some people, and technically they are, but to me, correct means you can accept new information, change your opinion, and become more intelligent about a topic. Being right tells me you're cut off. You always have to be right. I don't want to be right. I want to be correct. Made a video of the BSG Deadlock game, leaving link in chat if okay with moderators. Made during COVID shutdown. Hope you pique your sci-fi curiosity. Also, Edward's James almost is gold in 2004 show. BSG, go to the Discord. Drop the link in there, man. I would recommend that. Check the Flyover podcast, Air Force Pilots talking about their aircraft and the capabilities of each. Oh, I heard about that one. I would love to be on that podcast. Because here's the thing. I love air power. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore air power. But I also really enjoy being on air bases and going into secret rooms with pilots. And them being pilots, thinking that they're untouchable. And them saying, well, we can do. And then I start saying our capabilities. And they just like, well, fuck. And it's like, yeah, guys. If we build something to defeat that something, and then eventually build something to defeat that something that defeated that something. We're literally competing with ourselves. We're on such a higher level than everybody else out there. We literally have to fight ourselves. That's the point that we're at. Except for when Russia's like, well, We have hypersonic super time machine that can fire missiles out its ass. Guess what? Talk to Raytheon. We're going to have that fucker beaten in 2 weeks. I just... I'm sorry. Fat and stupid streams. Also as Louisiana, I approve of you using the Troy King of the Body Boy. I thought about going like, totem Junior. I thought about doing that, but I went with the whole like Farmer Fran style. Recruiting numbers skyrocket if they make Gundams. Bro, you ain't wrong. Air Force is really good at ad campaigns over Twitch streams, also sponsoring Monster Jam and NASCAR. See, you got to get the people where they're at. Young people don't get their news from mainstream media. They don't read the newspaper. They don't do shit like that. Young people in far larger numbers today are getting their information from social media. You have to reach them on social media. Do you know why young people, literally 23 years after 9/11, 23 years after 9/11, are siding with Hamas, a terrorist organization, not Palestine, Hamas? Do you know why people are literally siding with terrorism? Because Hamas has a better social media presence than the IDF does. If you can get Americans who experienced the worst terrorist attack in world history, like there's literally never been a terrorist attack that killed more people than that, siding with terrorism 23 years, not even 23 years, 22 years and some change after that fact, you should acknowledge how powerful social media is. But no, I just work here. First time making it through stream, how's it going? Oh, it's great, man. It would be like a War Thunder forum. That ball electricity thing I released on another live chat. What happened? What's a newspaper? Anyone familiar with the brand Maximum Impact from the Air Force? I am not familiar with that. Raytheon, part of the good old military industrial complex. Look, man, they make good shit. Yes, it costs an arm and a leg, but it fucks. Like, that's the best thing I can say about it. It fucking works. Propaganda and Roblox. ME-163 was a huge risk every time it flew. Is that the one that had the fuel issue, that the fuel would randomly, like, kaboom? But as don't do anything, the military needs Roblox games. You know, we do. Why is it every time I watch a video where... So, because this is the thing. People fail to understand cool versus tactical. When you'll see them all the time. Like, they'll show an American video where we're like in a classroom learning. You know, that's one of our ads. They're in a classroom. They're maybe working with some real expensive equipment. And the Russians are out there like breaking sticks over their stomach and like, you know, karate chopping bricks and like, cool, great. But they confuse that like, these Russians are tough. You don't stand a chance. Cool, great, tough, yes. Bulletproof, no. We have proven that. Right? So that person in that classroom learning that thing is going to destroy that person who is karate chopping bricks from a far greater distance because they understand like the principles of mission command. They understand succession of command, commander's planning guidance. They understand how to teach and lead troops. They understand the troop leading procedures. Like they know how to function autonomously without being told what to do. The guy chopping bricks drinks 3 bottles of vodka a day and doesn't fucking know where his shoes are. There's a big difference. So that's why you see all those fanboys in the comment section, because they think it's cool. They think it's tough. If you got on that podcast, we'd be talking a lot of, and nothing said as it would get into classified fast. I'd probably have to shut up real quick. That band has videos like Locked and Loaded. I mean, I'll check it out. Look at those protesting. They were almost young and not born when 9/11 occurred. I remember watching 9/11 when I was in 7th grade, man. You should make contact with Ward Carroll. Who is Ward Carroll? I'll write down the name. We are mad at hummus. It's tasty. ME-163 would actually be funny in one of your vids. Maybe. We'll see. F-15S could defeat the F-22. So you're talking about the new F-15EX? Is that what you're getting at? Depends on the circumstances. It really does. In a controlled environment, where they're within line of sight, possible. F-22 is pretty maneuverable. F-15 is not. but F-15 is also a thrust powerhouse, so you can you can pitch the nose and turn and use your thrust to really turn you and rotate, but you'll lose altitude pretty quickly if you do that. But beyond line of sight, the F-22 is going to take the F-15 all day, because the F-15 is going to turn on its radar, and the F-22 is not. And the F-22 is going to see right where the F-15 is, because it's going to leave its radar in passive and just receive the signal from the F-15. And eventually, it's going to get close enough that it can get a passive radar signature and get a lock onto that thing, kick on its radar, fire a missile, shut off its radar, roll out, and then F-15 smoked. At least I think that's how it'll work. I don't know enough about radar or the Raptor radar to make that assumption. No shit, Ward Carroll's a YouTuber, former F-14. I would love to talk with him. He's a former F-14 radio operator. I will have to check it out. EKVs. What is an EKV? I'm trying to think of what that might... Extra kinetic vehicle? I've never heard of an EKV. Can you please explain, Justice? You were in elementary school when it happened? It's not the F-15AX. Has canards and thrust vectoring, making it super maneuverable. I don't know enough about the platform. The maneuverability within line of sight, then you're going to take the F-22. If you got the maneuverability, like an F-16 has one of the tightest like turn radiuses known to man. Like, of anybody's platform. The F-16 is a fucking monster in a dogfight. But dogfights are kind of going away. Like the J-20, it's specifically designed to avoid a dogfight. Like, its job is to be able to smoke you before you even know it's there. But Tough Beats cool. U.S. Army's 80s commercial. We get more things done before 6 a.m. than most people do all day. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, that was a great ad campaign. Real like WASO. Okay. Radar intercept officer. Okay, sorry. Think AIM-120 with a data link. In feelings tanks either side of the cockpit. He went silent. It has been for 20 hours. Who did? I'm sorry, I'm trying to read. Are you Air Force or ex-Air Force? I'm actually Army. I just work very closely with Air Force because my job is to, I'm still in, my job is to shoot down cruise missiles, planes, ballistic missiles, rotor wing, fixed wing, UAVs. UAV, which is also RPA, which is also UAS, because officers needed to come up with new acronyms for evaluations. Yeah. A big thing in ADA is if it flies, it dies. So we can smoke it all. We can do passive missile shots now. AIM-120. We can. I did not know that. Well, one guy like came to me to defend his opinion in the game being terrible. It's a drone bomb thing. Is that what the EKV is? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up now. With the Fugo balloons? I haven't seen his video on the World War balloons. If we're talking about the balloon that came over from China, so what's interesting is people saw the balloon, they saw it get over U.S. airspace, they complained to high heaven, right? The U.S. shot it down. The U.S., as soon as it entered our airspace, it was being jammed. They never got anything from us. They shot it down, and everyone went, why did it get this far without us knowing? America doesn't know stuff, blah, blah, blah. And like when that happened, I sat back and I was like, I assure you we knew. And then a week later, the government came out and was like, we watched it take off from this island in China and tracked it all the way across the ocean. And I sat back and I was like, imagine that. I don't know if you guys know this, but out in the ocean in the Pacific, there's something called SBX, which is sea-based X-band radar. I think the Navy or the Air Force operates it. It watches the Pacific. All of it. The whole fucking thing. By itself. There's one. We have two of them. One of them goes in for refit, and they do updates and swap out cards and filters and shit. And then the other one goes out for 6 months, and they just swap them every 6 months. Yeah, it's called SBX. It's fucking scary. Okay, winds buff getting ion thrusters, bro. I don't know. Exo-atmospheric kill vehicle. Okay, so I'm trying to understand what you mean by exo-atmospheric. I may know it from a different verbiage. So a lot of ballistic missiles, especially like Charlie through Echo, they go exo-atmospheric, which is technically above the Kármán line, which is 100 kilometers up. They just go outside the atmosphere. Then they, do whatever they're going to do. They do flippies and turnies sometimes, whatever, and then they start heading back in. Sometimes some of our systems conduct engagements outside the atmosphere. THAAD can do this, Terminal High Altitude Area Air Defense. GMD can do this, Ground-Based Mid-Course Defense. Aegis can do this. Patriot cannot. We don't normally engage that high. Well, we engage pretty high up, but usually not above the Kármán line. We can't go above the Kármán line because our biggest range is 90 kilometers, and that's according to Google. And that's only Pac 2 range. Google. We can only see 150 kilometers. Google. So if you mean like our kill vehicles intercepting theirs exo-atmospherically, no problem. But if you're talking about re-entry vehicles, which is where a ballistic missile goes launch, boost, apogee, separation, terminal, and separation would be exo-atmospheric, where the rest of the system separates from the warhead or the RV re-entry vehicle as it re-enters the atmosphere. I mean, I don't know what you're asking, like how I feel about them. I can smoke it either way. I'm not really too worried about it. Now, if you're talking about MERV, multiple individual reentry vehicle, or multiple, we call it ERS, which is early release submunition. I can't tell you how, but if I told you, you guys would be like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But they're really easy to defeat. They are like ungodly easy to beat. If I told you, you'd be like, that makes perfect sense. Like that, you don't even have to be a rocket scientist to know that shit. I'm like, yeah, it's really that easy. But yeah. Sorry, let me see. What do you think? Okay, I already went on to that one. That's what Google says. Greatest that what we are willing to tell. The Fat Electrician said Chinese are likely testing the waters for an attack using natural Pacific airstream, seeing our response to plan for a bigger raid. The enemy is always probing our defenses. They're always paying attention to what we do because we always pay attention to what they do. Keep in mind, so like when I think Kim Jong-un is stupid. I really do. I genuinely think North Korea is stupid. Because here's the thing. The best thing Kim Jong-un could do is stop threatening the U.S. and just start testing his missiles. Because after a while, we'd be like, oh, well, he's not threatening us no more. He's just testing out systems. All right, cool. Not a big deal. And we may not pay as much attention to him. But when you threaten the U.S. and you test missiles, we pay attention to every last little detail of what that missile does. We pay attention to its acceleration, its range, its apogee. We pay attention to its payload, what it can do, how it maneuvers, everything that it does. So when you piss off the United States, or you're pissed off at the United States and you're an enemy of the United States and you start doing shit, all you're doing is giving away a capability. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything special other than like, look what I can do. And we watch the entire thing. We're like, that's cool. What was the numbers on that? What was its range? Where did it separate? How long was it? Okay. How long did it take to fuel it? Okay. What's the size of the bridge to be able to transport that thing? Okay. And we just pay attention to everything that they do. So, I would not be surprised at the end. I mean, the Chinese love buying our information. They absolutely love it. I don't know if you saw the Angry Cups video where he spent like 10 minutes talking about these two soldiers, that were sailors, that had sold secrets to the Chinese, espionage, for 15 grand over like 2 years. Went to the 88 Museum last week. Oh, nice, bro. I love that place. How many radioactive items did you find? Getting a masterclass on air defense. Breaking news. Another War Thunder player has leaked classified documents found on TikTok labeled NATO classified. How do I report it to the FBI? Are you serious? I assure you they're already there. With the amount of things that have happened in those War Thunder leaks, I assure you the FBI is watching those War Thunder forums intently. You sound like a Huntsville. I love what I do. This is the thing, man. My grandfather used to say, if you're going to do anything in this life, be great at it. I don't understand how people go through life being mediocre. And I'm not talking shit. Like, I'm not just... But for me, every day that I get up is like, I need to be better than everybody else at what I do. That's like my brain. That's where it's at. And it's not like a negative thing. Like, I'm not going to sabotage anybody else. I will absolutely help them in every way that I possibly can. But my goal is to compete with them and be better than them in every way. So I just learned a lot. And honestly, I learned a lot just from asking why. So when I got thrown into the van, I was doing air battles, and I did the monkey drill. I knew what buttons to push in what sequence. I knew how to adjust the system with STO remarks. STO stands for Surface to Air Missile Tactical Order. It's one of our reports. And but I had no idea why. No one told me why. I knew the monkey drill, but no one told me why. So I started like, all right, let's start reading. Why did I do this? What does this affect in my system? Okay, so I go to the -10. All right, well, it changes this and it changes this. I don't understand this part. Well, let me go into here. And I would just start reading. And, well, how does that work? Well, what does this do? And I, honestly, guys, asking why in any profession will teach you more about that profession than anywhere else. It also helps you sift through the bullshit. Why do we do this? Well, we've always done it that way. That's a dumb reason. There's got to be a reason. Nothing wrong with being regular. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. For me, I want to try and be the best at everything that I do. 20, I got to go into the vault and see the stuff back there. We were rushed out, only found 10. Nice! No bolts, no problem, Boeing. Do you ever get weirded out by how many people like your content? Sometimes. Honestly, it's a little weird to see the numbers. Like, it's a little concerning when I see the amount of people that like it and watch it and comment on it. But it all kind of brings me back to center and keeps me, like, humble, right? It, sets me down because people are brutally honest on the internet. So if I do something wrong, they call me out for it. If I do something right, they usually want to tell me about it. If I do something that makes them happy, they want to tell me about it. And that's the shit that keeps me, like, centered. That's the stuff that keeps me grounded. I will tell you right now, and I've learned that, like, when I talk to angry cops, when I talk to One Punch Dad, Mandatory Fun Day, fucking Eli Double Tap, the Fat Electrician, like, it's easy to find haters. You're going to find haters fucking everywhere. You're going to find them. It's not a problem. It is like, the thing that keeps us going is when we read those comments. I love your stuff. You make me so happy, man. I was going through a rough time. This really helped me out. Your videos are great. Thank you so much. Like, that is the shit we live for. That is our cocaine. That is what keeps us fucking going, man. I love that feeling. And every big creator I've ever talked to, they all love that feeling too. Like, forget the money, the advertisements, like, forget all that shit. Like, if I could just have that feeling and I didn't have to, like, pay for food or rent, I would do it just for that. I would literally do it just for that. How do you politely ask why? So I will tell you, for me, it's definitely a hard thing to do because in the military, they don't like you to ask why. So for me, I do self-development first. If I don't understand why something is happening, I look into it. I try and find any referenceable doctrine, and then I pose it as a question to whoever's in charge of me. Hey, Sergeant, First Sergeant, Sergeant Major, so you had me do this, and it says so right here, that it was supposed to be done slightly different. Can you teach me why we did it this way so that way I can understand and if it was more efficient? That puts the ball in their court. That instead of coming at them with like an aggressive tone, you're saying, hey, can you teach me what you know? And people will always receive it better when you come at them like that. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. HLC, I hope you all having a wonderful night. Yeah, not too bad. I got about 5 minutes left on this stream, but it's not bad. About asking question is why he's teaching now. Can't teach what you don't know. Exactly. It's weird though. Like I get like an imposter syndrome. I kind of feel like I don't know as much. Like I feel like a Dunning-Kruger. I feel like so Dunning-Kruger is the act of someone who doesn't know very much, speaking like they know way more than they actually do. But it's also the flip side. Someone who knows a lot, kind of speaking like they don't know what they're talking about because they're not confident in themselves. I sometimes feel like I'm a fraud. because like there's no way that I know that much more than a lot of other people. Like I don't feel like so I always want to ask more. I always want to learn more. My buddy Rotten Reaper, I geek out with him at work. Like I'll hear something about Patriot or some radar, and I'll just like, hey man, we need to go down the rabbit hole. And we've been sitting there in his classroom before because he's another teacher, I'm a teacher. And we've been sitting there drawing pictures on the whiteboard, and like we won't say anything, and we'll draw a picture or a symbol, and because we know we're not supposed to talk about it, and we'll see it, and we'll both nod like, yes, I know what you mean by that, but it doesn't make any sense to go there. And like it's our own little physicist brain bullshit that we do, man. It's because it's the way that we learn. You know it's going to be a good day when HLC posts. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Okay, thanks, because that has input everywhere. Yeah, no problem, Nova. Did I miss one? Did I miss a super chat? I'm scrolling back. Okay, no. I did not miss another one. Wolfram getting them all. Only 5? Oh, fuck. When I say that I love your work, man, it keeps me informed, but keeps it lighthearted. Getting burnt out in the world means shit, so someone keeping it light is nice. Man, that's why I do it, dude. That is absolutely why I do it. Like, for those of you who don't know, so I started making content right after my last deployment, and I will never speak poorly about my ex-wife. I wish her all the best in her future endeavors. We'll just leave it at we grew apart. I came home. I remember stepping off the plane. We went over here to Reinhardt Gym at Fort Sill. It was like 10 o'clock at night. They dismissed us. Everyone ran to their families. I had nobody. I knew I had nobody there. I wasn't even going to ask for a ride. I was just going to either call a cab or like get an Uber or something or try and walk home. I literally like kind of choked back tears because I was absolutely alone. I grabbed my bag and I went to leave. And my buddy McCraw, he's one of the coolest dudes I've ever fucking met. I love McCraw, man. I still talk to him to this day. He's like, hey, Long, come with me. You can borrow my car, man, so you can get where you need to go. And I was like, you don't have to, man. Go spend time with your family. He's like, I fucking want to, man. All right, cool. And he let me borrow his car. I went back to my house. Electricity was shut off in my house. I had nothing in there. Like most of my furniture was gone. My bed was like on the floor. My house was 54 degrees. I'll never forget that. It was 54 degrees inside my house because we came back in December. And around that time, I made my first funny video. And I made it selfishly. I wanted people to tell me I was great. I wanted people to tell me I was amazing. And it was stupid. And in hindsight, I really shouldn't have been like that. But after a while of making those videos, probably a week or two, I made another one. And then I realized what I was doing. And every time I make those videos and I make somebody laugh, I make someone smile, I'm trying to give you freedom. When I can take your attention off of everything awful that is going on in your world, and I can have your complete attention because I'm making you laugh, to me, there is no greater gift you can give anybody in this world. That's the way that I look at it, is that for that minute, that 2 minutes, whatever long you're watching that video, nothing else matters. And I set you free for a short period of time. I wish I could do it forever, but that's the best I can do because no one deserves to feel the way I did when I stepped off that plane. That's the way that I look at it. That's kind of the way that I treat things. Sorry, got a little serious on you guys there. Come on, find that video and play it for us. Show us how much you grew. Eventually. I'll see if I can track it down one day. Petition to include refuelers into your skits. Like a KC-110 or KC-135? Bet. Navy laser beams go pew pew. Hold on. End of live message. You all liked live. Don't forget to like. You guys are all on it, man. My mods are the greatest. But oh man, Alexander, you just got here at the last minute. We do 2 hours every night. My headphones must have shut off. I gotta hear it. There we go. I'll be able to hear it. I do 2 hours every Friday night from 6 p.m. Central to 8 p.m. Central. So as always, do not give it to the 22 a day. Every single one of you are amazing, and I will see you guys right here next time. Don't forget, go to habituallinecrosser.com or click the link. There should be a banner at the bottom of this video. I just got that uploaded, so I hope it works. Get yourself some HLC merch from our friends over at Bunker Branding. So I will see you guys all next time. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some more content out this weekend. I'll catch you guys later.